Hey, I'm back. And thankfully, I am streaming the same night that I tweeted out that I would stream on the same night. Earlier in the day, I tweeted that I was going to stream tonight, and here I am, streaming at night on the same day. So, good for me. Anyways. I don't know how likely it is that people are going to be playing tonight, but we'll see. If I wait 10 minutes and no one's playing, then I'm just going to go ahead and play Sudeki instead. So we'll see. I'm really glad that the room is still saved and the game file still hasn't been corrupted. I don't know what caused that to happen other than Steam may have updated and it somehow messed up something related to the files in this game. But whatever. Yeah, I'll wait 10 minutes. No one shows up, then I'll just not play. Let me think. What was it I was gonna say? And let me do something real quick. Never mind. I don't know how likely it is. It's going to be. I don't know how likely I'll finish that Malcolm X drawing. What I thought about doing is just doing a noir style design to fill in the values. So basically, if there are any shadows, even any dark grays on Malcolm X's form or clothing, then it'll just go completely black, and vice versa. Any highlights or light grays on his form and clothes would just stay completely white. But I don't know because the image I have, or the reference image I'm using for that drawing, is in black and white. It's not in color. There are barely any images of him in color in the first place. Sorry. Any images that have color in them of him. Apparently, colored photography was not a thing back in the 60s. So, there's that. But if need be, though, tomorrow, what I could do is work on it during that night, all night, pull an all-nighter, and try to finish it up. I don't know if I want to stream it though, because I'd have to go through the annoying process of clearing up space in my directories and all that, and just work on it from start to finish as well, but we'll see. We'll see. I just need to put the values in it, and since it's a black and white photo, or basically there's no saturation, no color saturation in the photo itself, the reference image. You would think I would have already gotten it done and it'd be easy, but for some reason I've just been very negligent towards not just this drawing, but just drawing in general. I don't know. I did want to get his drawing done so I could do Neil deGrasse Tyson, but that's not going to happen. So. But yeah, if I don't get it done by Monday morning, I'll definitely get it done sometime on Monday. I definitely want to get it done by the end of Monday, before midnight of Monday, so that I can still get it done within the month of February. What else? I'm still in the process of packing up, so there'll be some time devoted to that. But otherwise, it's going pretty well. Just gonna be throwing out some stuff, probably a lot more stuff than I realize. But there really isn't much for me to pack up. Like, I've been pretty minimalistic when it comes to the stuff I have inside my room. Also, I've been giving this advice to everyone lately, and it's a matter of do as I say and not as I do. So I'm pretty much being a hypocrite, not taking my own advice. But if you've been keeping up with world events, and as long as you're not directly involved in any of those world events, I'd recommend not being on social media, such as Twitter, YouTube, and so on. And don't watch the news. Not that I'm encouraging people to be ignorant of world events, but at the same time, though, I don't think it's going to be good for anyone's mental health. I grew up in the 2000s, and if you two grew up in the 2000s, you'd know how that went. Oh, here we go. But yeah, just stay away from the news and stay off of social media. I mean, Twitch is fine, right? Because pretty much people are just playing video games, mostly. If you are going to watch TV, just stay on Netflix or anything else not related to, again, world events.
The wheel of fate is turning. Rebel 1. Action.
Oops. I don't know what Jubei does. I don't play against him.
Rebel 2. Action. Counter.
I keep messing that up.
Counter.
That was too far. I don't know what this character does, man. To give some context, I played Blazblue Continuum Shift and Chrono Phantasma, but I have not played the original or Calamity Trigger or Central Fiction, so I don't know what Chube does.
The wheel of fate is turning. Rebel 1. Action.
What? He jumped backwards, that's why. What? Oops. I don't know what this character does. Like, what? How is he just jumping around like that?
Rebel 2. Action.
He doesn't seem to have a Dragon Punch. Although that's annoying. So he can dash behind you. Okay. He can do a bunch of cross-ups. Alright. What's his name can do the same thing as well.
The wheel of fate is turning. Rebel 1. Action.
Even though I don't know what he can do, at least I have a better understanding of how Hibiki works. One thing's for sure though, it is refreshing to play against a character that doesn't have any kind of gimmick or invincible attacks. Like Jubei is pretty much like Hibiki in that he just has to get in close to do stuff. That's about it.
The wheel of fate is turning. Rebel 1. Action.
Oops. He still has really much longer normals than you've got to be kidding me. That's the biggest problem with Hibiki, is that he's got such short normals. Man. But basically a lot of rushdown characters can outrange Hibiki. Man, I hate that. Just mashes out and then you can just recover from it like that.
Rebel 3. Action.
Nice. I just kept doing mix-ups. Hitting him high, hitting him low, through him, when he pretty much had no other choice but to just block.
The wheel of fate is turning. Rebel 1. Action.
Seriously. That's all I had to do is just land one A. That's it.
Rebel 2. Action.
If you keep jumping like that, I'm just gonna do that. You know what I mean? You gotta mix it up, man. You gotta mix it up. Oh my goodness. I have to toot my own horn, but that's never happened before. the cat ears.
The wheel of fate is turning. Rebel 1. Action.
He has a parry? So he has a parry, okay. Oh, that's so annoying because he just matches 5A and for some reason I'm not respecting it. Because all I have to do is just do the same thing. I don't time that parry well enough. Yeah, now he's busting out other moves I haven't seen. See, yeah, he was busting out moves I haven't seen before. A lot of them just have to do with just putting Junpei, like, dashing around. That's about it. Like, he's not a complicated character, it's just that I'm not familiar with his movement patterns.
The wheel of fate is turning. Rebel 1. Action.
See what I mean? What? So the invincibility works even off of 5A. Okay. Not safe off of that. Sorry, I lost track of what I was doing. I had him in the corner and I could have done something with that, but for some reason I just lost track of what I was doing.
Rebel 3. Action.
Okay, he didn't jump that time. He's learning. So he can do pretty much a dive kick in the air, like with that dash. Hibiki has a similar move, but it's normally... It comes out at such an angle. It's more vertical, so that's why I normally don't throw it out. But if I know that the guy is just going to be underneath me, then I'll throw it out then.
The wheel of fate is turning. Rebel 1. Action.
Yeah, I can do the same thing. I had him. All I had to do was just land one attack and that was it. Got him.
Rebel 3. Action.
I will admit though, it is annoying to have to deal with a guy that can just dash like that. Because again, I don't know where he's going to end up. I do know that it does have the same weakness that other not dashes, but some drive attacks have, which is there's a
The wheel of fate is turning.
second in which the character will not be able to move. Okay, so that drive attack just goes behind you. Alright.
Rebel 2, action! Rebel 3, action!
If only I could just learn how to knock the guy up into the air, I would be able to deal a lot more damage with that Zuna drop throw. That's the problem, is that pretty much on the ground, I don't really know how to get the guy in the air. I don't mean sweeping guy either. That's not high enough to actually do something with that.
Rebel 1, action!
So annoying, dude. I messed up the combo. I messed that up. I hit drive instead of C, and that's how I messed that up. Alright.
Rebel 3,
I keep missing that. I should stop air dashing like that. Also, you can tell that I've gotten better at playing it on keyboard. I'm quite impressed with myself, really, because I didn't think it was actually gonna happen.
The wheel of fate is turning. Rebel 1. Action!
Oops. I can do cross ups too, man.
Rebel 2. Action!
So annoying, man. Dive kicking. I should have just threw it out anyways. Right now I got nothing to work with.
3. Action!
Really? I should learn Hibiki's astral move as well.
The wheel of fate is turning. Rebel 1. Action!
I was trying to throw out that super, but for some reason it just wasn't coming out. Perfect.
Rebel 3, action!
I can't tell if this guy is salty that I'm just mixing him up too well or not.
BBCF win!
Like, he just stands there barrier gauging and wasting all of his barrier, even though I'm not really hitting him. Like, if you're just gonna stand guard like that, I'm just gonna sweep you, dude.
The wheel of fate is turning. Rebel 1, action!
I feel like his spirit's getting broken. Like, he's not really trying as hard as he used to.
Rebel 2,
Maybe he's just tired or something, I don't know. Make that move. I think I broke into this guy's psyche, learning his mind games. I don't know, I can't tell if he's just panicking or what. Yeah, that's what I thought, he's just tired. Alright, dude. Good games, man, good games. Nice job out there. GG, whatever the young people say nowadays. Oh, those were some good games, though. We both learned a lot from each other. Well, I certainly did. But yeah, it just seemed like he just got, he was getting exhausted. That's what I do anyways. I just play until my fingers start aching. And then I just stop playing. I want to play Naoto, and I hear that he's pretty much the kind of character that forces your hands to bleed. So I want to try him out as well. But I want to get enough matches with Hibiki. That's what I did in Skullgirls. I just played 100 matches with Cerebella, and eventually I realized that only playing one character, regardless of who it is, was just not the optimal strategy in Skullgirls. Sure, if you're playing casual matches against like people in lobbies, that's not gonna matter, right? At that point, you can just play one or two characters. But I kid you not, when I realized that if I had a team of a two character team of Cerebella as anchor and Parasol, right, as basically the assist bot, and I just kept using Parasol to spam her gunshot, that projectile she shoots out, well, not projectile, it's literally a gun she uses and shoots a bullet at the enemy from full screen. That pretty much solved a lot of issues Cerebella had. She doesn't have any good gap closers. Cerebella anyways doesn't have any good gap closers. It's really difficult for her to get in because she can't run. She also is just generally slow when she moves around. And although she does have some really big hitboxes when she throws out her attacks and has a good amount of range, they don't do a good job of pulling the opponent in. They just pushed him further away from her. So Parasol fixes all that by basically shooting a bullet from full screen, and it forces the opponent to block. And while they're blocking, they can't attack, right? So Cerebella can just jump in or dash in closer for free. And if they're still like hesitant to do anything, or if they try mashing out, you can usually either command grab them and beat them out of mashing, or do an overhead and pretty much start a combo like that. And especially in Skullgirls, you can do a lot of resets, right, with combos and force the opponent to stand up. When I figured out how to do that with Cerebella, I kid you not, I almost never lost against just casual players. Especially those that played Big Band and maybe Misfortune. Oh, sorry, Robofortune. Eliza was another one too. But basically, yeah, you just never lose with that against another player that just plays one character, right? Yeah, the extra health is nice, but it doesn't beat the fact that it doesn't beat the fact that having another character throw out another attack, right, at the same time you're throwing out an attack. So basically, having two characters throw out an attack at the same time is way more effective at applying pressure than just having one character throw out an attack. And here's the genius about this strategy, right? So-called genius anyways, but it's actually pretty simple. Say Cerebella gets in, right? Dashes forward, jumps in, whatever, right? And the opponent attacks her, right? Or counters her instead. Even if that's the case, if I make command Parasol to do her gunshot assist, right, while the opponent is attacking Cerebella, the gunshot will hit the opponent, right, hit the opponent's character while they're attacking Cerebella, interrupt them, right, and stun them for a bit, just enough so that Cerebella can actually just get pretty much a reversal for free. So it's a lose-lose situation if you're the opponent with only one character, right? If you're not playing on a team, or not playing a team of characters. You'll get hit if you successfully counter Cerebella, or you'll get hit if you do nothing and just block. Because even if you're crouch blocking and Skullgirls, if Cerebella just again does a command throw or an overhead, like, you're still not going to be able to do anything about that. You can't throw break the command throw, nor can you block against an overhead, right? Because in order to block the gunshot, you have to be standing up, right? And overhead at the same time. So it's a 50-50 mix-up, right? Either you're standing in order to block the overhead and the gunshot, or you're crouching in order to avoid getting command thrown. And if you guess wrong, of course, then you just get command thrown, or, you know, get you suffer a lot of damage for free. I don't think anyone else is gonna play, so I think we're done for today. And then let me change this title. BBCF. Let me think. Let's do this. 2022. Yeah. Let's just do the date. That way it's not confusing on when exactly these are happening, or how to distinguish between each stream. But yeah, although I appear to be salty and all that, one, I just hate losing in general, but two, I'm not new to competitive games, right? So, you know, I'm not gonna like rage quit or get so upset that I'm just gonna, you know, do something worthy of getting clipped and, you know, causing infamy. Usually, there are going to be some exceptions in the future. There are going to be times when I get really upset about something, right? Gaming related. But, no, I mean, so far I've been facing against people that either know a lot more than I do about the game in general, or know enough about their character and have about equal skill level with me. That Jubei was pretty good. Like, if you're the Jubei I was playing against and you're watching the stream, just keep working at it, dude. Like, you were doing pretty well. I don't know, again, I don't know about that standing barrier though. Like, barrier blocking while standing up and just wasting all that barrier doesn't really make any sense to me, but I'm just assuming that he just didn't know what else to do because mine was exhausted. But, yeah, that's fine. Otherwise though, I'll have to play against these other characters more often. It's characters like Jubei, Terumi, who else? Azuma and so on are just honest characters in that they don't have any BS or any moves or abilities that, I wouldn't say completely, but change the fight so drastically that you pretty much have to play a mini game on top of the actual game itself, right? I know for Kokonoe, that's always been an issue I have with that character, is that, and Tager, the whole magnetic property just screws with the physics of the game, so much so that even the Kokonoe or Tager players don't know where the opponent's going to land. Obviously, of course, if they have enough experience and such, they can, you know, figure that out or prevent that from happening. But it's, yeah, and Rachel, that's another character too that messes up the physics of the game, because you'll jump forward, right, and when she uses her wind, either in a forward or backward direction, that'll either put you in a shorter or longer arc than you anticipated, and then what are you going to do afterwards, right? Other characters, as I listed earlier, Tsurumi, Jubei, Hazama, and so on, they don't do any of that. They don't mess with the other players' physics, movement, etc. Some other characters are just straight up annoying, like Arakune. He's annoying in that his whole strategy just involves throwing as much stuff on screen as possible, and again it becomes a mini game of, you know, just dodging all those slugs, insects, and that gas circle. There's not really much else you can do at this point. I don't think anyone else is going to play, so I'm just gonna exit out. But what else is I saying? What was I talking about? Oh yeah, Arakune. And it's even worse when he gets his curse mode, right? Once he fills his curse meter up, just exponentiate, makes the problem much more exponentially worse. Because you have to block whatever projectile, whatever insects or creatures get thrown behind you, in front of you, over you. You gotta block Arakune's attacks and watch out wherever he's moving, which is difficult in and of itself because he can teleport, he can triple jump, he can flow in the air. Like, he's just an obnoxious character to play against. I know some are, let's just say, some anime fighting game YouTubers or streamers say that Arakune is bad, but even if he is, it's still not enjoyable to play against characters like him. When you're a rushdown character, of course. I assume that if you're playing a zoning character like Lambda 11 or who else is a zoning character? Mu12, I guess, but she's just a clone of Lambda 11. Then it's not such a big deal because you can just throw out a projectile and you don't have to deal with all that. You can just stay on the other side of the screen and just fight him from a distance. Zoning characters in this game, I feel like, kind of have it bad because it's weird. Lambda 11 and Mu12 have the same problem I discussed earlier. Their drive, I think it's their 5D, that creates a magnetic field mid-screen and forces the opponent to essentially have reduced movement speed and jump height within the circle. And the circle pulls you in, right? So you can't just jump out of it and avoid it completely. But without that, I don't see how else they're going to be able to keep the opponent off of themselves. And from what I've seen, they don't really do a whole lot of damage either. But I don't know. I don't play zoners. I wanted to talk about Tsurumi. Tsurumi is a secondary character I picked up back in Chrono Phantasma and BBCP. And he was hot garbage back then because he did not have an overhead. He had no real way to overhead. He had no real overhead. Sorry. He had no overhead. He had no way to do an aerial overhead. No aerial overhead attacks besides 2D while in the air, which was relatively slow. And he had no answer to projectiles, right? So pretty much if you were a zoner and you're playing Terumi back in CP, like forget it. You're just gonna. It was the definition of rough, right? Or it was just a huge struggle. Now, of course, they finally gave him a proper overhead. Let me show it off. In fact, what I'm talking about. Oops, not that.
Please select your character.
So Terumi.
Yuki Terumi. Hazama.
And I guess Hazama, because why not? Okay, so back in CP, Terumi did not have these moves. He did not have this. Oops, not that. He did not have this sweep attack, which, from what I understand, destroys projectiles. Oops, not that. Let's see if I can do it. There we go. Yep, see? Oops. Come on. Hold on. I just did it. I'm not used to the timing. There we go. There we go. But basically the sweep attack, yeah, destroys projectiles, or basically it nullifies them, right? So now with this, he didn't have this ability in CP, right? So what you had to do constantly is jump D. You just have to keep air forward dashing and doing your drive attack, and just hope that you land something. And if it wasn't that, you had 60. Yeah. And this attack, it's fast on startup. So it basically he immediately attacks once you throw it out. But it has a long recovery time. But yeah, it travels quite a lot, long distance. So basically that was his only two attacks that he had available in CP in order to deal with zoners and trap-based characters. And they're both relatively weak in that they don't have any real answer to projectiles. There's no projectile invincibility, there's no... This attack especially is really slow, but it does do an overhead. This attack is relatively quickly, but it's very easy to see coming from full screen, and on top of that, his recovery animation is really slow. Actually, is it? Maybe not as bad as I thought it was, but nevertheless, though, it was still pretty slow. And that's about it. Now, of course, he has... Oops, not that. He has this attack, which is great. And it's good for, yeah, OTPing or sweeping the opponent up, so... Oops. Come on. Not that. For some reason I can't do it after I sweep. Hold on. Weird. Okay. Anyways, he didn't have that attack, and he also didn't have his overhead, so... No, not that. No, not that. How do you do his overhead again? It was... Not that. No. No. Ah, okay, it's quarter circle back, see. Yeah, and that's his overhead. Which is great. He didn't have this either, so if the opponent was Oops. Come on. Crouching. Oops. Everything. There we go. So if the opponent was blocking right, what you would do is run up, do your normal block strings, like you would normally do with Hazama, right? And unfortunately, because this move didn't exist back then, you pretty much had two choices, right? You would... So this 5C attack has 2 hits in it, right? On the first hit, you could jump. So what you would do is you would land the first hit and then throw that out, or this 2D attack out as you're jumping down. I mean, as you're falling down. And that was it, right? That was your only way to overhead, and the only other way to deal with crouch blocking is that, just throwing. You do have this command throw that existed back then, but it's pretty slow. I'll show it off. Hold on. See, it's got a long wind-up time, and although it looks pretty quick, you can just mash 5A out of it, which when you're doing a block string and you just throw that out, that's what the opponent's going to do. It's just they're just going to mash 5A and I'm sorry, not 5A, 2A or 5A, and then just beat it out. But now with this overhead, life is easy, because now he has got a proper overhead. It's a command overhead, but it's better than nothing. And yeah, that's basically it. Like, he had some really great quality of life improvements. I still like this overhead though. It's the 6A. That's pretty much like a really good overhead. Sorry. Why do I keep saying overhead? Sorry. Anti-air. Anti-air. That's a really good anti-air. All you have to do is just hit 6A, and that's it. You just throw it out. And it has a pretty good hitbox. So let's see. Let's do jumping, and let's turn blocking off. So you just forward dash, throw it out, and more times than not, you'll be able to catch them off guard, because it's a really fast anti-air. And since he's standing while throwing it out, and there's basically no startup frames, it's just so fast. Unfortunately, he doesn't have a lot of good aerial moves, unlike Hazama, so can't really get much off of it, depending on the height that the opponent's in, or at, I should say. But you could just super jump to deal with that. Yeah, see. Come on. I'm trying to do this combo. Hold on. Unless they changed it. Yeah, they changed it. No, actually, you just have to throw it out faster. I should have played Tsurumi more again. I kind of gave up on Hazama, but I honestly kind of don't want to. Hazama is still just a really fun character just to learn, not necessarily to play. It's because Hazama requires a lot of thinking when it comes to his movement. You can't just spam out his chains and expect to do well. He's only got 2 of them, and if he doesn't hit the opponent, even if they're blocking for a net gain of 1, then you're kind of screwed because without he can't run, and he has really bad reach with all of his moves. So pretty much like, oops. So pretty much he's not really good if he can't manage resources like that. But yeah, that's basically his simplest aerial combo. To remains anyways. Let me see if I can do this. Okay, you can still do that. I wonder though. Yeah, that comes out a lot faster. And I'm sure the hitbox is not as big as it used to be either. No, never mind. You just have to time it better. Oops. Yeah, just have to do the timing a little bit better. Come on. No, it just doesn't have as much reach. Okay. This is basically one of his B&Bs for standing anyways. You're just doing a standing combo. Unless I'm still just not getting the timing right. Yeah, no. It's either that they increase the knockback distance with that last stomping attack, or they just reduce the distance on this. I'm pretty sure it's the latter. Yeah, they reduced the distance on this. So if I remember correctly, you could actually just... Okay, no, you can still do that. Hold on. Yeah, you used to be able to reach further than that. Yeah, they nerfed the distance on this, that's why. Okay. So that doesn't really work anymore, unless you just shorten it by quite a lot more. No? Okay. Yeah, you just have to shorten a combo by a lot. Which sucks, because that means you miss out on a lot more damage. But yeah, that used to be the old B&B. If I remember correctly, now if you want to... this new B&B involves knocking the opponent back with this. And then, you know, basically doing something like this while they're still in the air. But you use the snake bite now to... as a micro dash within combos, weirdly enough. Obviously, I don't know about all that right now because I still remember him from CP, but yeah. I think that's about it for Terumi. Like, everything else has been the same. He's got this 5D attack, which it's decent, right? It's a good like projectile because you can actually forward dash into it. So even though it already has some decent range on it, you can actually hit for neutral like that, right? And it's got relative fast startup frames. Whoops. But now you can just, whoops, not that. Just forward dash into it. This attack was kind of tricky to learn because it's very specific when it comes to how you use it in combos. Yeah, you can't just throw it out. I remember though, like, yeah, that's another B&B I remember learning. But again, though, because Snake Bite's been nerfed with its distance, you can't really land Snake Bite to end the combo. As far as I know, anyways. Maybe I'm just wrong and I just don't have the timing down like I used to. No, that's still, yeah, I don't think it's me. And yeah, like I said, everything else is the same. He still doesn't have a DP, right? So, unless you use meter. So that's his 50 meter DP. But, of course, that's kind of a waste because he really need... okay. He doesn't need meter... Thankfully, he doesn't need meter as badly in this title, right? In Central Fiction, as he does in Chrono Phantasma. In Chrono Phantasma, because he didn't have these two attacks, right, this overhead and this sweep, pretty much you had to rely more on his meter attacks, so, or supers. So, whoops. Yeah, so this was pretty much what you had to throw out, much like Hazama, in order to get a reversal. And even then, you couldn't really get much off of it, even if you did land it. Sorry, my keys are sticky. Come on. Okay, I might have to stop playing because apparently my fingers are not able to do the inputs now. There we go. Now they just recover really quickly now from it. Yeah. Oops, not that. Come on. I'm trying to throw it out. Hold on. There we go. That was a really good gap closer. It still is. But again, you have to waste 50 meter just to use it. So basically, if this fails, or if you really need to get from full screen, right, full screen to right in front of the opponent's face really quickly, and if you had the meter to do it, then you would just use this. Come on, let me throw it out. I really need to get this keyboard clean. I'm doing it right. Come on. Why can't I do it? Hold on. Something's not right. Oops. Oh, I am doing it wrong. Okay, that's why. Okay, that's why. Okay. I could have sworn that you had to go forward, right? You had to do a 180 degree like motion starting from forward and then hit forward afterwards again before you landed the button, but I guess not. But yeah, that's basically what you did in CP if you wanted to deal with characters that were full screen, is do that. Of course, though, you wouldn't do it like that. It would be more like this. Catch them off guard. Not like that. Come on. There we go. Yeah, you would just land it like that. You should be able to do a combo off that. Yeah. So. Come on. And then, let's see. Oops, not that. Wow, you can't even do that anymore. Okay, yeah, so basically his B&Bs have changed, but I'm not wrong in saying that what I was talking about between CP and CF. Azama's changed as well, but I think I've already talked about him. But yeah, I mean, I would pick up Terumi again, but he's still way too close to Hazama in terms of his moveset. A lot of his normals are shared with Hazama. So his A's, his B's. The only real difference is his C and drive attacks. So he's got that, which is a decent anti-air actually, if you don't want to use this. Because not only does it hit enemies when they're in the air on the first hit, it also knocks them back down. So let me show it off. Where is it? There it is. See, first hit hits them, and then the second hit knocks them back down. Oops. I guess one more thing I gotta say is his 6B attack. So this move is not an overhead, but it makes him invincible to throws. And on top of that, if you hold the B button down, oops, not that, then he just does a forward dash feint, something like that. So there's that. I remember though, there was a video, it was either on Jordal's YouTube channel or some other YouTube channel, but essentially I remember them using Terumi as an example of dash burying, or whatever the term is for it. So essentially if you forward dash and then immediately hit hold back and A and B at the same time, you can essentially do this. You can cancel the forward dash animation and immediately block while you're sliding forward, right? So if you play, I guess a good analogy is, or comparison is, in Super Smash Bros. Melee, you have air dashing or wave dashing, whatever it's called. Yeah, wave dashing. And I know it's a little bit different because you wave dash when you attack. No, that's out canceling, sorry. You essentially jump and then you dash. Use the combination of dashing and jumping in order to essentially glide forward using momentum in the game's physics engine, right? It's similar to that with Blazblue. Again, since Terumi didn't have these moves in CP, that's basically another strategy, is to do that. Oops, not that. I mean, it was better than nothing, that's for sure. But overall though, Terumi was hot trash in Chrono Phantasma. As much as I like the character, that's pretty much my honest opinion of him when it came to that title. In Central Fiction, thankfully they fixed all that. He still, I how should I say this? Does he have any issues? Well, I haven't played him in this title, so I don't really know. But one thing's for sure, though, I don't think it's fair for some rushdown characters like Ragna and Jin to have DPs, invincible DPs, mind you, and others to not. So I know for Hazama, I don't think he really needs it, but what am I talking about? Actually, he actually does, because with Hazama, it doesn't make any sense to waste 50 meter just to do a DP. Come on. The same applies to Terumi. Like, Terumi does not have a get off me button or move. He doesn't have a dragon punch whatsoever. Except this one. But again, you have to waste 50 meter to do it. Yes, Terumi can obtain meter faster than other characters, but when you're starting off with 0 meter and you're fighting against a character like Ragna who can just DP immediately as soon as a match begins, as soon as a round begins, and you're sitting there as Terumi wondering to yourself how you're going to deal with that, you can't just throw out a DP with meter you don't even have. So there's that, but that's just my critique of rushdown characters and the franchise as a whole. That's been a problem I think has been developing since Continuum Shift. Anyways, yeah, that's all I gotta say about Terumi. I don't think there's any more time. Anything else to say? Okay, is there anything else I want to talk about? I gotta end the stream soon. Let's see. Any other characters? I kid you not, when I first played Continuum Shift, or played the Blazblue during my first time, Hazama was the first character I played as. But for some reason, I wanted to main Bang Shishigami. I don't know why. For some reason, I thought he was cool at the time. And he looked pretty complicated. So I was like, well, let me challenge myself and learn this character. After a while, I just grew to like Hazama more in terms of his mobility and his overall rushdown game plan, more than Bang Shishigami. Bang, weirdly enough, he's a rushdown character that has to rely on those nails, which is a projectile, and there's nothing wrong with that, but unlike Hazama, Bang doesn't get more nails as the round goes on. He has no way to get more of them, so you're kind of boned if you just throw them out willy-nilly. The chains were a lot more forgiving, and on top of that, the Hazama's normals are honestly much more easier to understand than Bang's, because Bang's drives have that auto block feature, which didn't make any sense to me because he was attacking while he was blocking, and it's not a parry either. Like, you block the attacks while you're using his drive attack, but the attack animation slows down first in order to... It's complicated. I would have to show it off, but that's going to be for another day. Anything else? Not really. But yeah, like, let me list all the number of characters that I can remember having DPs. So Ragnar and Jin are the obvious ones. Naoto has one now, but he's a new character. He's the exception. Jubei, as far as I know, does not have one. Hibiki does. Again, new character, so that's good. Tsubaki has one. Asriel has one. I think Kagura has one as well, but I have to check. Hazama doesn't for some reason. Bullet does not, but I'll talk about Bullet. I got a whole rant about her. I've hated this character since her debut in Chrono Phantasma. It's still not fun to play against her, but again, I'll get to that rant on another day. Silica should have one. If I remember correctly, she does have one. I don't think Makoto does. Lychee has one. I don't think Valkenhayn has one. I have to check. Bang does not. He has command grabs, but that's about it. He does not have a DP. And I think that's it. Akuman, as far as I know, doesn't have a DP either. And of course, Tsurumi does not. So let's count them, right? I guess I should talk about Susanoo, but Susanoo has a DP, if I remember correctly, but you have to unlock it, so he technically has one. You just don't get to use it immediately. So let's count the number of Rushdown characters that have DPs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, possibly 10. So possibly, so let's just say 9 for sure, right? 9. So how many Rushdown characters are there in total? So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I think Izagoi counts as Rushdown because she deals a lot of melee attacks. But again, I'm not too sure. I lost track. Let's see, I lost count. Let's see, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So basically half of the Rushdown characters, number of Rushdown characters in the roster have DPs and the other half do not. Roughly speaking, I'm pretty sure that there is more than that, but even so, that's still, in my opinion, it's still kind of inexcusable because if you're doing a Rushdown versus Rushdown matchup, I know that the DP isn't the end-all be-all, but it definitely helps. Again, this is a rant for another day. I'm not going to get into it right now, but I'll talk about it later. All I know is that I am way overdue with this stream ending, so let me go and end it now. Alright, well that was fun. And for anyone that's listening to the last 30 minutes of this stream, first of all, I want to say thank you, and second of all, I am so sorry. I normally don't talk this much, but some things are just too important to be silent about. Anyways, that should be it. This was fun. This was fun. Again, I'm hoping to do more of this. Hopefully, I'll be able to move in to my new place relatively quickly. At least have the PC set up, ready to go, so that I can continue doing this weekly. But until then, no. Peace.